it's Briana. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to do a get ready with me. That way you can see all the different products that I use on a daily basis. I have already moisturized my face, but I did want to mention this new moisturizer that I have been using. Only been using it about a week. I don't see a tremendous difference yet, but I do like it. It just takes a bit of getting used to. It's the Clinque Dramatically Different Hydrating Jelly. I've always gone back to and always loved the Clinique Gel Moisturizer. That's been a favorite years and years. I've always gone back to using that. So I thought I would give this one a try. Still getting used to the texture and the consistency of it, but it's supposed to be great for your skin, used twice daily, supposed to protect from environmental pollutants, and has hyaluronic acid in it, which is also good. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of that out of my hand so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. You can see that it's starting to run. So it's just a little bit difficult to get used to working with. I'm used to, because I do have dry skin, I'm used to the gel, which just kind of sticks and then blends in. So this is taking me a little bit of working with, and I've kind of figured out rubbing in, you know, up both cheeks like that, and then as I finish, kind of pat and just let that set. That's why I've gone ahead and applied it. That way it's had plenty of time to dry on my skin. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes, and for that I'm using the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. You can always use any concealer, whatever concealer you're using at the moment. That will most definitely work. I do that quite often, but I have the paint pot. I love the paint pot. So might as well use the paint pot. So we are moisturized and primed and ready to go. Oh, and by the way, I did not use a face primer. One of my favorite face primers is the Smashbox Photo Finish, but I have noticed with the Revlon Colorstay Full Cover Foundation, for some reason it doesn't blend out as well when I use a primer, so I've just been skipping my primer on that. The only drawback to this is I do notice that it does kind of enlarge my pores slightly. My Estee Lauder Double Wear does that as well. I don't know if it's just that kind of mattifying foundation that does that, but I mean, for the price, you cannot beat this. I know I've talked about it in 2 other videos, but I'm absolutely loving this foundation. It is easy to apply, quick, and cheap. Just gonna stick that on my finger, rub that around basically like I would a moisturizer, and start applying. Just gonna go in with my Morphe E6 brush, start kind of stamping that in the center of my face and lightly blending it toward the hairline. Next, I'm going to go in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer in Light Medium Warm. And what I've been doing lately, I tried not to go all the way up with my foundation. Looks like I did kind of do that anyway, but if you could leave this area without foundation, if you have trouble with creasing, that's going to help. The less product you have under your eye, the better. Of course, we always want to brighten, which is the point of using our concealer. So if you could stop your foundation about right here and then just go in with concealer, that's going to help as well. Another thing is I do not go all the way. I'm sure you guys have seen the videos where they do the whole triangle all the way out to the outer edge. If you do have any issues with creasing, again, you don't want to do that. I'm not going up all the way underneath my eye, and I'm not going out on this side, just right underneath. I do have a spot right here that I want to cover, and right there that I want to cover. And then I'm just going to go in with my Morphe M536 brush and just tap that out. And as I'm tapping, I just go up, so I'm actually placing the product directly underneath my eye, and that will allow the product to cover underneath there. It just won't be so much that it settles into the fine lines and creases. want to lock this look in place so it's not going to go anywhere. So for that, I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way setting powder. This is an awesome powder. It is just very drying. So if you are someone with dry skin or dry skin areas, I recommend just setting the places where you've concealed and maybe like your T-zone if you tend to get oily there. As I've mentioned with this foundation in the past, I do like to set my entire face because it tends to break apart on me if I don't. So I will be setting my entire face just lightly with this powder because again, it is very drying, very absorbing, and I don't want to look too powdery or dry. And for this, I'm going in with my Morphe Y11 brush. Just getting the places right now that I've concealed with this brush. Since it is a little smaller and more detailed, to me, I just go in with the areas that I really have trouble with. And then I take a big fluffy brush just with a little bit of product on it and just kind of hit the whole face. Again, now I'm taking just a big fluffy brush, swirling it around in my cap. What I have on there is all that I'm going to use to set the rest of my face. All right, now that we're kind of a blank canvas here, we want to add a little bit of dimension and depth back to the face. So for that, I'm going to bronze and then add some blush. And I'm going in with the Butter Bronzer, one of my all-time favorites right now. I love the way this smells. I'm just going to go in with my Morphe R14 brush and just carve out those cheekbones. For blush, we're going to go in with the Milani in Romantic Rose. Just going to take that on an angled MAC brush. Have no idea what number this is. All of my MAC brushes, I will say, I'm really into the Morphe brushes right now for the price. The quality I think is great. The price is amazing. They have a lot to choose from. They do have some kits on their website that you can just buy like an entire bundle if that's what you're looking for and don't know exactly what brush you need in particular. So if you're just starting your brush collection, I definitely recommend Morphe. I've not had any problems with Morphe at all. Some people say they have trouble with the bristles coming out or them being misshapen. That's a MAC brush I was holding, but anyways, with the bristles coming out or this being misshapen when they wash it or whatnot, I've had no problems at all for the price. I will say I've not had them long enough to tell you how long they're gonna last. Some of these MAC brushes I have literally probably had 8 to 10 years. So the quality of a MAC brush is definitely there. Don't know that my Morphe brushes are gonna last that long, but with as inexpensive as they are, I'll just buy more. Okay, for eyes, I'm going to go in with an all-time favorite of mine. This is just a go-to when I want to be quick and out the door. I know these colors blend amazingly well. I know that I love the palette. I know that these colors go with anything that I have on, go with my skin tone. It just works, and that's the Tarteist Pro palette. It is very well loved. You'll see that when I show it to you here. So I'm going to go in with this very first color in the palette. That is Classic, and I'm just going to sweep that all over the lid. I could have done this with my setting powder, but since I have that here, I'm just going to take a flat brush and just apply that all over the lid to set that eye primer. Okay, next we're going to go into the color Indie right here on a Sigma E35 brush, and I'm just going to take that slightly above the crease as my transition shade. Alright, next Next, we're gonna go into Profesh, this color right here. I'm gonna take that on my Morphe R39 brush. I'm gonna concentrate this color right in the crease. The major thing you want to keep in mind with any eye look is blending. Blend, 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 and then blend some more. I do like to start all the colors on the outside edge of my eye, kind of in a circle swirling, and then go back into the crease, back and forth with windshield wiper motions. It's kind of the best way to get that blended out and diffused without any harsh lines. Okay, so I want to darken up the outer corner just a little bit, and then we're going to put a shimmer on the lid. So I'm going to go in with the color, I think I'm going to use Vamp, and that's this color right here. It's just a deep purpley color. So I'm just going to start stamping this color on the outer portion of my eyelid, just right at the corner of it. And I'm not going all the way up, just right to the crease. And then just kind of start blending in a circle. I'm going to pull it slightly into the crease and then up and out. You never want to drag the colors down. That's just going to drag your eye look down. If anything, just pull it up and outward, up and outward. That's just going to pull your eye out. It's going to give you more eye space. It's just going to lift everything and make everything look younger and brighter, which is what we all want. Same thing on this side. Just going to start stamping that just in that corner. Stamp it right to the crease. And I'm not dipping back into the color either, by the way. Especially if it's a very dark color, you definitely don't want to. And then I'm just going to start going in little circular motions just on that outer corner. Taking it slightly into the crease and up and out. Okay, for the lid, I'm going to go in with this shimmer right here, Glam. Just going to put that on my finger and just start patting that on the lid. Okay, next we're going to do the brows. And for that, I'm going in with my Dip Brow Pomade from Anastasia Beverly Hills in Ash Brown. Just going to take that on an angled eyebrow brush. What I like to do with the brush is just trace the under portion of my eyebrow, kind of get the shape of it. I also like to use the pomade to do my arch. I just have better luck with a brush getting that arch to kind of look more natural than what I do versus a pencil. But I will go in with a pencil to hit these inner corners and just kind of finish them up. Okay, so next for eyeliner, I'm just going to tot line up underneath here, not in the waterline, but just as very close to my lash line as possible. And then I just like to smoke it out with whatever color I used on my outer V right here, which we will do. I don't really do like a winged eyeliner look, but I do pull it out slightly, kind of in line with the edge of this color right here, and bring it in. Just kind of gives me, opens the eyes up even more, just kind of gives me a nice look. But just kind of slightly start drawing up from the inner corner. Sorry, excuse me, from the outer corner toward the tail of my brow. And I just do that a little bit, not big. And I'm kind of keeping in line with the edge of that shadow. And then what I like to do is just take, I'm going to use a magnifying mirror and that's not working out. Just take it from the outer corner, start pulling from there, and I go about halfway in. So it is thickening up this outer corner and line, and then it's just getting smaller as you're going in toward the corner of your eye. Okay, I went ahead and did the other eye off camera. That is kind of hard to do without being up in the mirror and using both hands and having them in your face. So now I'm just going to take a flat brush and I'm going to go back in with Vamp. That was that darkest color that we used on the outer V. And I'm just going to take that on the bottom lash line. And one thing I'm not going to do is go all the way into the inner corner. You can kind of see where I have a little bit of creasing right there. And if I go all the way in, I'll find that this color settles right there and looks messy. Like my makeup's running, because it is. So I'm just going to go to about halfway right there and stop smoking it out. Just want that outer corner just to kind of look smoked out and a little more defined. Sharpen it up a little bit. All right, now we're going to highlight the inner corner a little bit with Glam. That's that color I put all over the lid. Just going to take my Sigma E56 brush. I don't know if you can see that this brush has a point to it, which is great for highlighting that inner corner. I'll also sometimes use this to highlight the brow bone. In this case, I'm just leaving my brow bone alone. I don't want the shimmer on there, and I don't really want another color on there. I'm just kind of going with it like it is. All right, for highlight, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora palette. I'm going to go in with that very first color in the palette, Eclipse. That's so pretty. Ooh. I'm also not pulling my highlight all the way in to here, you know, to my cheeks. Just kind of keeping it from about here back. Gonna hit the center of the nose there. In between the eyes, I like to do just a little bit right there and then just bring it down the bridge of my nose. A little on the Cupid's bow. Okay, so for lashes, I am not going to put on false lashes today. I am just going to really give them a good coat of mascara. And right now, I am really enjoying this mascara. It's Voluminous Feline by L'Oreal. Took me just a second there. If you're not a fan of the plasticky kind of wand. You probably won't be a fan of this mascara. I like those ones. To me, the consistency of the mascara is a little different than like the Lash Paradise. I hate to say this, I'm not a fan of Lash Paradise. I know everyone is in love with that mascara. I'm not. It clumps up, it dries up too quickly. I don't feel like I get to use the entire product. It also doesn't come out like this, has the little thing that kind of pulls and cleans it off. The Lash Paradise doesn't have that. And the ones with the softer bristled brushes, I find don't do that. I like for it to kind of wipe some of that excess off. To me, it helps prevent clumping. And like I say, the consistency of a mascara like this is a little different. It's a little more watery, but it comes off easier in my opinion. Doesn't flake. I like it. And one trick you can do if you really want to just kind of lift and really get in there good is just take your wand and as you're going up, just twist it slightly. Especially on the outer corner right here. This will really just thicken that up and really make it look nice and full. Okay, so for the bottom lash line, and I'm going to be a bit of a diva here, I'm using two different mascaras. I have used this on the lower lash line. It does work great. It doesn't smudge. It doesn't flake. But I have this one, so I hate to be wasteful, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. I actually bought this one from Covergirl. It's Flourish by Lash Blast. I'm just not a big fan of it. It takes a whole lot of work to build it up. The brush is very, very teeny. It does pull off, and it is the same type of brush like I talked about before. I'm a fan of those type of brushes. So this is actually just perfect to hit the lower lash. All right, for lips, I'm gonna line these with a, I'm sorry guys, I cannot read the brand or the name of the color anymore on this. It is so small. It's just all but used up. I did get it from Sally Beauty. I think it's just like a couple bucks maybe. And this is about the third one I've gone through. It's just like the perfect berry mauve-y, still slightly nude kind of color. It's just perfect. Alright, now my all-time favorite go-to Never Let Me Down liquid lip is Kat Von D in Lolita. This color is perfect. Complements any skin tone, and it lasts forever. Okay, I'm going to finish everything off with a little Cover FX Illuminating setting spray. Just going to let that dry a little bit, and then just take a powder puff and start to push in. This is just going to push in the powder. It's going to push in our highlight. It's going to push in my bronzer. And I'm, again, just pushing, not dragging, just pushing and patting. This is the finished look. This is my everyday go-to glam routine. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure and give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, notification bells, check out my other videos, and stay tuned for more. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Bye.